I'm very excited to catch up with this guy. It's been a little while since I've had a chance to talk with Joique Bell. You're a very busy man with many different things, but one of the big things that you're gearing up for is the 12th annual Joique Bell Charity Weekend. And you've got a big lineup of great things and events that are going on. But first, Joique, I got to ask you, as I know you cut your hair, so that's a big thing that I'm sure people have noticed. But one of the things I'd like to know, as it is the 12th annual, why did you decide to first off even start doing this charity weekend with football camp and a whole bunch of other stuff? What made you say, "Hey, let's do this"?
Right. It started off with my rookie year, and me having a lot of connections kind of within my profession, and people asking me to come do their football camps or come do certain events. And I remember going to these football camps and seeing these kids there and seeing how they were impacted just by me being there and having conversations with these kids. And I can kind of see the excitement in their eyes. And I'm like, whoa, this is pretty dope. I think it was more fulfilling to me than to them. Right. And so I was thinking in my head, like, I never had this growing up. And then a light bulb went out. Well, why don't you just do that, right? And so we started off the start of the Joique Bell Charity Weekend with just a celebrity basketball game, and it wasn't even really a celebrity. It was basically the 2005 basketball team versus every team from 1990 to 2000. So we said, take your top players who still can play, and then we're going to play in the 2005 basketball team is going to play against them. And can you hear me?
Yep, I lost you for a second there.
Yeah, it was called the Battle of the Legends, and
Right.
so we're running it back, and so it was a lot of arguments about who was the best team to ever come through Ben Harbor, and so just to kind of just to stop all the talking, all the naysayers, we said, get your best team, get your best team. We'll grab our players, and then we'll hash it out, right?
Yeah.
And we end up winning the game, but we kind of cheated because I added on another 20 minutes into the game because I knew we were gonna wear them down because they were older and they were tired. But those guys can play. And
Yeah,
then
I mean,
just kind of
yeah, like you said, it has grown, and it has grown to so many different things from not only golf outing, basically a gala with a cocktail reception, and then, of course, the camp that also has not only football, but also a dance camp. And like you said, your network of great people that you've met, whether they be athletes, dancers, other people in the community, that network continues to grow. And you're not only calling in favors and saying, "Hey, let's do this," but you're bringing so much more to these camps year after year. So
yeah.
it's just really cool to see how that has continued to grow. Have you noticed that the more and more kids coming out, and then also, of course, when you send a kid to a football camp, you start to you have kids that start to get better at the
Right.
sport. You even noticed, even in the community, I've kind of noticed there's a lot more athletes that are doing some more great
Yeah.
things, probably based off of just this camp.
You know what? It is, and it's growing more. I think this year we have the most girls in our dance camp that we've had in the past probably 5 or 6 years, right? And so we have a lot of girls coming in. I mean, the girls had a great time last year. Shout out to my good friend Didi Ama, who was a background dancer for Beyonce and many more artists. And she came down one year, and she loved the kids so much that she came back down last year just for free, just to offer her services because she enjoyed it so much, right? I tell everyone it's hard to get people to Ben Harbor, but once they come, it's easier to make them stay, right? And so once they come there, they see how beautiful it is. The Ben Harbor, St. Joe area is great, right? And it's like a hidden gem in Michigan that not a lot of people know about them. A lot of people from Chicago and Gary and Illinois and Indiana, they know about it because they come book up everything around this time of year. But it's great, right, to have these people come out. Even a lot of great friends from here, from local artists here who are on the mainstream, from Calvin Johnson, Rob Sims, players who played at Wayne State that's now playing for the Lions, and Anthony Pittman, great friend Chris Ivory, Jordan Howard, Jeremy Langford. I mean, the list goes on and on. To a lot of players who come down every year kind of supporting my cause. And the thing is, what we're doing is, what people don't realize, 95% of Benton Harbor kids are reading below grade level. And so my whole grand scheme of my nonprofit is to bring literacy programs to Benton Harbor. And I found one literacy program here, actually in Michigan, which is probably one of the most effective literacy programs I've seen out there. And so for the past 3 years, I've been pushing the agenda of getting this program into the schools. And as of January of this year, we finally got our first semester in the school working with the kids for 1 hour a day, 5 days a week. And the type of results that we're seeing, or that we've seen in this program, is these are real numbers. We had a 10th grader reading at a 5th grade level here in Detroit. He went through our program, and within a matter of 14 weeks, tested out reading at 11th grade level. What people don't realize is that after junior high, after the 8th grade, there's no more assessment tests, right? So you can't assess kids. And so when you're in school, you're either behind where you need to be or you're ahead. The thing that they don't tell you is that when the kid is behind, how far they are behind. Are they a half a grade behind? Are they 5 grades behind? Are they 7? You don't know, because there's no assessment test. And so what we do is, with our literacy program, is that we assess every kid, and we give every kid what we call the literacy prescription. Each kid has their own tutor. They work privately with this tutor for 1 hour a day. We give the kids their privacy because they deserve their privacy. And we felt, and we've seen through our numbers and statistics, that it's more effective when the kid has one-on-one. You have to break down barriers. I don't know too many kids that will raise their hand in a class of 20 kids in one literacy program saying, I don't know what that says. Can you please break that down? And so when we have these kids one-on-one with their tutors, they have an opportunity to break those barriers down. And with me sitting in these, in these sessions, I realize this is more than just a literacy program. It's also a mentorship with these kids. A lot of these kids they don't have the consistency in certain places that they have when they come to this literacy program. They have the same person there every single day, helping to break down this literacy barrier. And this is an epidemic. This is an epidemic that a light has been shined on it since, the pandemic, right? It's always been there. There's not one state in the country that's reading over 50% literacy. Not one state. I think Michigan, we're at 69%. Texas at 75%. And this is a epidemic across the entire country that can be solved. And this is the first step of solving it.
Absolutely. Yeah. You have a wonderful drive to be able to make this happen. And you, like you said, you've got a lot of great people joining you to continue this fight to help people and help kids in our schools and in our communities. And I love that you have that passion. And I love that you also, like you said, you continue to grow this charity weekend. And that is one big thing that helps you in your mission with that. And I got to say, you got a busy weekend ahead of you, June 8th through the 10th for your charity weekend. I don't know how you're going to sleep, because you're part of like every single one of these pieces. You've got a welcome party at Pete's Cider Social. That's going to happen on the 8th. Is that open to everybody or
open to everybody? So and that's the thing. Everything that I'm doing for the charity weekend, I try to make it open to the entire public. So the Pete's Cider, that's going to be on Thursday of next week from 6 to 9. It's basically the community really comes down. They really support what I'm doing. I don't think anyone can hear what I just told you and say, you know what, I don't want to be behind this. Right. So from Popeyes, they're sponsoring the food. Pete's Cider, they have a lot of things that they're helping out with. We have a great friend of mine, Darren Haynes, who comes out every year. He MCs, 11-time Emmy Award winner. Shout out to him. He comes out every year and MCs the whole weekend for me. The DJs come in town, and it's really a lively. It's a lot of festivities. It's a great time. Then you go into Friday morning where you have the celebrity golf outing. Shout out to Calvin, comes down just about every year. Rob Sims, those guys that come down every single year. They support what I'm doing. And then after that, we have the silent auction, which I can tell you, it was a pretty cool silent auction last year.
Wow.
I wanted to buy. I mean, from the Kevin Hart. I mean, Kevin Hart donated tickets and backstage passes to his concerts he had last year. The Tigers, sweet tickets and free parking, and the Lions and the Pistons and the Red Wings gave us all sweet tickets with free parking, and I mean, it was just a great time. 5 different destinations to travel to with your significant other if you wanted to, or your friends. It was a great time. I mean, we really had a great auction. And then we always have like a pool social after back at the Inner Harbor Shores, sponsored by Good Boy Vodka this year. So Good Boy Vodka, shout out to Tito's. They're sponsoring my golf outing as well. And then you have the football and dance camp, and then also the resource workshop. So the resource workshop brings out all the programs in the area to one location, so everyone can come there and have these resources anywhere from, if you're dealing with domestic violence, if you want to learn about investing, if you want to learn about financial literacy, if you want to learn about real estate, we have all these resources here that you can get a card and reach out to. Because one thing that I really believe in is that we really have to have not only the literacy piece, but we also have to have that financial literacy piece. But the first step is having that literacy piece. So everything is in phases. So this is phase 1, is the literacy piece. Second phase is the financial literacy. But everything honestly starts with the youth, period.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a great thing that you're doing. And then you also have the celebrity flag football game. Are you going to play in that one?
I'm playing in it. It's my team versus Sada Baby. So Sada Baby has his own team. I have, he's going to select his team. I'm going to select my team. And it's going down. It's going down. There's going to be a lot of chirping. I'll let you know that. There's going to be a lot of chirping.
We're talking with Joique Bell about his upcoming charity weekend. JoiqueBell.com to learn more. Any other ways that, if we want to be a part of this, whether an adult that wants to be a part of some of these festivities for them, or maybe a kid that still wants to be a part of the camps or anything like that, how do we get ourselves signed up for that, Joique?
Sure. So we have registration open all the way up until Tuesday of next week. All you have to do is go on to joiquebell.com. You want to sign your kids up for the football camp, go to the registration. Make sure you give us their shoe size. We're doing free cleats for all kids up to 8th grade, but all kids are welcome from 8 to 18. Shout out to Rocky Mortgage and Legacy Football. They sponsor the cleats every year, and I think we're doing about 200 free cleats this year. And so it's always great to have the kids come out and kind of get some of these resources, because they really need it, right? And it's something that parents don't have to worry about this upcoming football season, or even the school.
Yeah, it's a great thing that you're doing. A very exciting weekend. Get some rest.
Coming out, Johnny? Are you coming out?
I might have to for some of that stuff, because I love Pete Sider Social. I might for sure have to help you guys welcome in the weekend for that, and maybe some of the other stuff. Golf, on the other hand, not so great at that. So maybe
you can come to your show. You can come to your show on the golf course.
I could be a caddy if you need me to. I could drive around a golf cart or something.
Sounds good.
Awesome. Joique, thank you so much for everything that you do. Thanks for catching up on some of the great things you have coming up for your charity weekend. But we'll talk again soon, my friend.
I appreciate you. Thank you. Thanks, Johnny.